Welcome back. My name is Kit Laser.
My name is Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And this
Sorry, I was late on the gun.
is Streaming Things. That's okay. Eventually, you can't always have actual lasers behind your announcement, you know? I've grown up.
Yeah. What do you do when I'm not around?
How do you
accentuate
It's really
the
awkward.
laser?
I'm there. Making the noises for
Yeah,
him.
Madison pops up, pew, pew,
Pew, pew. Pew, pew.
which makes it weird because it's like my work meetings and stuff.
They're like, who's this person?
And I'm
you're
like,
just
you'll
always-
find out in a second.
Don't worry about her.
Ask me what my name is and you'll see.
And then she does a noise and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, there she is.
So if you're a longtime listener, get used to Kit Laser. I think I'm going to commit to the bit. If you're new, nothing weird here. Just some guy named Kit Laser.
Some guy named Kit.
Yeah. I don't think it's
Laser.
weird. I was just telling Steve before we pressed record, because I've got friends in the entertainment industry that are like, what are you doing, man? That's ridiculous. Kit Laser, it's an absurd thing that you're doing. Like the joke is not even funny and you're taking it too far. And it's not one of those jokes that gets funnier because you took it too far. This isn't like a Borat thing. And I was like, well,
I don't know. We could be living it.
That's true.
Maybe
We
in
don't
like
know yet.
a month, people are like, that's fucking hilarious. He's still going.
all I'm saying, Tom Cruise, internationally famous. Thomas Mapother IV, nobody knows who that is. So nobody laughed at Mr. Cruise. So don't laugh at Mr. Laser, you know? You got to commit. But we're talking about Lost. This is Lost episode 5, White Rabbit. We got some 70s rock references.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, Jefferson Airplane.
And this is
Excuse me, Jefferson Fuselage.
Oh.
well done. Well done.
I practiced saying that word.
You're doing
All
great.
Last episode, I was struggling so hard.
Were you looking in the mirror like fuselage?
Fuselage.
She
Fuselage.
hired a speech
Over
coach
and over and over.
just for one word.
No, I talked to my flight attendant friend, and I was like, "Yeah, the fuselage." She was like, "Oh my gosh, so impressed."
Was she
that I
really?
knew. No,
Ah.
but yeah, I think now I'm gonna add it into every form of conversation that I possibly can, just to shock people that I'm in conversation with.
I got to tell you, it doesn't come
Tell
up
me.
a lot.
Well, I'm gonna make it come up a
You
lot.
got to really work it in,
I will.
you know?
Don't worry.
You know, my favorite thing about cups is their general fuselage-esque shape, right? We all agree it's a fuselage-esque shape, this cup.
Let me just grab my fuselage lipstick out of my purse.
It's really the main body of the lipstick.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Much like the fuselage is the main body of the plane.
Yeah, like your e-cig
Yeah.
is a fuselage.
This Red Bull's delicious. It gives you wings like a fuselage has,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know? You
This
could
is
do
gold.
it like that.
Yeah.
Gold content.
That's the way
right
to work
here.
it in.
Who knew that a fuselage was really in so many aspects of our lives?
We're covering one episode of Lost a week, which might be just mind-numbingly slow to you Lost bingers.
But next week,
It'll be 2,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, starting next week, we will have Lost on Mondays and Thursdays.
You know what I'm concerned about, though?
What are you concerned about? Lay it on me.
I've only known one podcast to cover Lost, right? And I was actually like thinking, are we going so fucking slow that it's idiotic for this giant show?
We aren't.
They covered one a week
Yeah.
for 2 years or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and they were a huge podcast because they were famous for Game of Thrones coverage before that. And then they had to switch when it was over. It was called Storm of Spoilers. Joanna Robinson, one of my favorite podcasters. So I was like, huh, okay. And then I thought about it. And I was like, this show is such that with the mystery box aspect of it, right? It may ruin coverage of, say, episode 10 if I've already seen episode 11 and I'm trying to pretend and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think we can go too fast or it'll just be idiotic, or we might just have to do like episodes 9 through 12 or something.
Yeah, I think 2 episodes a week is the
Because they don't
max we can
solve
do.
anything like
like
in the
that's
following episode, or is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying if we wanted to go fast, 2 episodes is the max we could do a week. But I agree with you. I don't think 1 episode a week is too slow. It might be very slow for the listeners because they're already blowing through it.
Yeah.
But the idea of doing these Lost episodes is to have evergreen episodes that people who are discovering the podcast can go back to, 3 years from now, and they've got all this Lost coverage.
I mean, I don't mind the slow taking our time, because it's kind of how it would have been presented to us when it was on
you only
broadcast
had
TV.
one a week.
Yeah.
You know, back in the
So-
day, back when times were hard.
I know.
This is like just post Great Depression when Lost occurred.
Yeah, man.
Families were barely getting by, and they had a little Jack to help them through. Eisenhower.
Good thing we had someone to tell us what to do.
Yeah, I mean, the atom bomb was just created.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a lot of...
It was forever ago.
There was a lot. There was Cold War action.
Yeah.
A lot of Cold War action.
Hot Cold War action. Madison wasn't there for our Cold War porn joke, but it was so fun. I still laugh about that. It's two people that just almost flirt. Like the Cold War, you know?
Oh, okay.
And that's the whole porno. It's like 3 hours of just hot Cold War action.
Just like sexual tension that's never.
It's not even quite tension.
I'm going to flirt with this person who your neighbor to make you jealous.
Yes. Tomorrow.
We're going to have a Cuban cigar crisis.
Nice. Get it?
Get it? Because of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I love this. Thank you for this.
We have to work on it, but it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of hotcakes, we're talking about.
You mean hot Kates?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love it. And it's better when you say it.
No.
It's less creepy.
Yeah, it is.
You're welcome.
This is the value that Madison adds to the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I paid her $5 to talk about how hot Kate is, so I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Here, Madison, I need you to objectify Kate for me so it's not as creepy.
No problem.
She started it, actually. She won't admit to it, but
I'll take some ownership of that.
off air, pre-episode 1, she's the one that brought it up.
She was being dirty Vinny.
That's
Vinny,
my name.
She's got like a little pencil mustache and shit.
Hey, where are all the dames at?
The dames.
I love these beach broads.
It's exactly how I sound.
It is.
Outside of the podcast.
She's had a couple beers.
Smoking a couple of cigarettes for the past 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. This sweet, adorable Madison that is so smart and eloquent and has funny jokes on the podcast. It's all a facade.
It is.
These mics turn off and, hey, babe,
Baby, what's up?
I'm going to go bet on the ponies.
She's a horse racer. Yeah. Gambling addict.
Just me gambling.
If there's an addiction, Vinny's got a finger in that pie.
Yep. That's how I'm so rich.
But White Rabbit. Lost episode 5. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about our overall thoughts on this episode, where we're at right now. And then we're going to go scene by scene, play by play through a recap of the episode and cap it off with a few fun games. We got Beach Please.
Beach Please.
Not Beach Peas.
Beach peaches.
They would appreciate some peas on that beach. And that's going to be where Steve talks about some inside info, some behind the scenes stuff on this particular episode. And then we'll do our Mile High Club moments, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode, followed by our Passenger Princess nomination, our favorite performance of the episode. And then finally, a fun segment called Lost and Found, where we're kind of keeping track, enumerating all of the mysteries that have been unfolding in the show so far and which ones have been solved. So we can tally them up by the end about which ones were never solved. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
3 years from now when that happens.
Boy. Ooh, boy. Boy, howdy.
So Madison, what did you think of episode 5, White Rabbit? You a Jefferson Fuselage fan?
I am. Did they play the song White Rabbit?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did. They didn't have the licensing rights.
Yeah, that was way too expensive.
I was very upset that they didn't play the song because it's a good song. But you surprised me last week when you were like, "Hey, give me a few words to describe your overall thoughts." And I was like, "Shit, I hadn't done that in a while." But this time I was prepared.
Is one of them fuselage?
No.
Damn it.
And it's not. So I have Jack, period, is, period, tired, period. And then meat and potatoes and baby doll, question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, baby dolls.
Talking about Kate.
Not exactly. But I liked this episode. I think I had mentioned previously that I was wanting to dive more into Jack's story, and this episode very much focuses on him and kind of what his story is, why he's a little out of breath all the time, and this hero of a man. So I liked it. It was a good episode.
When you're handsome and wealthy and just a man of many talents, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm getting so much ass, it stresses me out. That's Jack Shepherd.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Doctor.
I wish I could just spend an evening alone, but there's too many women throwing themselves at me. God, it gets tough.
It's like, ugh, I gotta fly to Australia to find my dad. Ugh. Gosh.
Yawn.
I just need just a pile of wet baby dolls and a moment to myself, and I'll be back.
Just give me some plain. Are they blow up baby dolls?
About you laying that out in that voice.
That's what happened.
That is what happened. But just the act of you laying that out with that voice was so uncomfortable.
Sure.
I need some wet baby dolls and time alone.
Yeah, just because if Madison did it, it would have been fine.
Yeah. Madison, let's see your delivery.
What did you say?
I'm not saying it again.
Him finding wet baby dolls? Is that what you said?
Well, like baby dolls, you think?
Baby dolls?
Yeah. see the way Madison says, it's like, are they wet?
Moist?
This is getting out of hand.
Steve, what did you think about episode 5? Your third or fourth time through.
I like this episode. It's probably, I would say probably like a solid B type episode.
We're going to give it a grade.
We're learning things. The plot is still thickening. We're still learning about all these cast members. Specifically, we get to learn a little bit more about Jack. As someone who's seen the show, this episode is really, really cool because, I know Jack's backstory. So when it was like, oh, we finally get a Jack story, it's kind of incredible how little is peeled back on him. It's just like, oh, he has a dad. Oh, his dad's an alcoholic. Oh, his dad died in Sydney. He was in Sydney to fetch his dad's body, right? We learn why he was on the plane, but really I'm excited to see what your guys' reactions to in future episodes, because they really explore this relationship with Jack's dad. They really... and even there's like a moment in this episode where he has with Locke, and so much of the story of the overall show is the idyllic opposition that Jack and Locke have. And so it's interesting to see, like, this is the first time they really kind of share the screen together in any meaningful way. And that's kind of neat, knowing going forward is like these two characters, how they interact going forward is very fascinating that it starts here. And I don't know, I thought it was a really, really great episode for, like, I'm just enjoying it. Like, I love knowing how you guys experience the show, because for you guys are experiencing it brand new for the first time. And so for me, it's almost like you watch a murder mystery movie, and then you go back and watch it a second time and you see the threads being built in real time that you didn't know were being built. And so that's why I love seeing what you guys think. Because for me, I'm a little bit like, I know it's going in, but so for me, I have that perspective of, oh, I'm seeing these things these little seeds being planted into the ground, and I'm excited to see them sprout and come to life. But yeah, great episode. Had a lot of fun with it. What'd you think about it, Kit Laser?
I agree. I mean, I haven't seen a bad episode yet. I mean, we're only 5 in. I really enjoy this show. I think it was very almost subtle what they were doing with Jack's flashbacks in this episode, and I like the way that they're doing it. There's a lot you can pull out, because he's always been this kind of unwilling president of the island, and this kind of hesitant leader. And it's funny to make fun of how accomplished he is in every way and how quickly everybody leaned on him. But it's not the wildest thing in the world to imagine in a scenario like that. Most people would look to somebody capable to make them feel safe and to take care of them a little bit, tell them what to do. People just are that way. And Jack's a good nominee for that. And then you find out there's like a psychological trauma reason that he's so unwilling, that he's been told by his parents, who are supposed to love and protect him, that he would be a shitty leader. He doesn't have what it takes. He's got kind of an abusive father. And then the mother sucks too, because she's like, your dad was right. You don't got what it takes. It's like, well, all right, well, I thought mom was going to be cool at least, but no. And he had mentioned before about being a doctor was kind of a family thing, and he left it at that. So you can tell, like, you can extrapolate. His dad kind of forced him to go to med school, and he never really wanted to do that,
He just wanted to beat up bullies on the playground.
That's all he wanted to do.
Ever since he was a little kid, it was his calling.
Yeah,
beat up bullies.
Mark got jumped,
Poor Mark.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting. And I also like, again, we got the dapper man floating around the beach. Turns out to be Jack's dad. And he's dapper because he was dressed for burial. Oh no.
Oh. And I didn't even make that connection.
It's not lending... it's not boding well for the other denizens of the island. Because if you got dead men walking,
Dead Dad. It's Dead Dad Island.
not a great sign everybody else is in the best health. You know? So I don't know.
Dead Dad Island, where you can go and see your dead dad.
You're selling it. I want a brochure. I'll
He's
think about it.
always walking away because he never hugged you in life. Dead Dad Island.
Yeah.
He's always so close but so far away.
Just like Dad always was.
Hashtag daddy issues.
I'm going to be singing that a lot.
I
this
like
episode.
that.
I'm just throwing it out there now. Get ready for it. Dead Dad Island is going to be a bop.
New
I love
Streaming
that.
Things merch idea. Dead Dead Island t-shirts.
Dead Dad Island.
Dead Dead Island.
Get your closure that you were always seeking.
Just kidding, it's empty.
Dead Dad Island.
Most brittle coffin ever.
It really was.
That thing fucking
they not
splintered to
have-
pieces immediately.
Do they not have good wood in Australia?
No.
Holy shit.
Guess
What was that thing
not.
made of? Pine?
Where's all the hair brushes?
Sand.
Did I
It's
do
made of
okay?
Sand.
Hair brushes?
Hair brushes?
Yeah, I'm looking for hair brush.
Oh, you're doing an Australian accent.
Yeah, kind
Oh,
of.
that's
That's what
you're
that was?
doing.
Here. It's here. Here? How do you say it?
Oh, you think hairbrushes?
Hair brushes, you think?
Nice, kind.
Nice, Ken. Hair brush.
Hairbrush.
There you
Yeah,
go.
hair brush.
Hairbrush.
None of them.
I went through like 20 suitcases.
Yeah, 20 suitcases. Look at the knots in my hair. Yeah, it's getting worse. All right. Let's not get too off course. This is a professional show.
Kangaroo.
People don't listen to us for this shit. They want real, hard criticism.
Yeah, they do.
That being said,
That being said,
So the episode opens with a flashback, and it's a kid getting beat up by bullies, and it's Jack. That's what we find out. We cut to the present for a moment, and it's Charlie running for Jack. Someone's out in the ocean. Uh-oh, Charlie doesn't swim. Of course, Jack's got to be the one to save him. Who the fuck else would do anything on this island? If it's not Jack, it's nobody.
Yep.
It's Jack and Locke, right?
yeah, Charlie woke up, saw a woman screaming in the ocean, and thought, which of these 46 people should I, or I'm sorry, 45 people should I go and ask to save this woman?
Only Jack.
Only Jack.
Yeah, and of course, Jack, an amazing swimmer. Just pew, right out
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
And then he can't find anybody. Then, pulls him up. It's Boone. But Boone says, "Did you get her?" And Jack's like, "What?"
I just am like, Jack is making this amazing attempt to go save not one but two people in the ocean while everyone else
It made me
watches
so
on
mad.
the fucking beach.
It made me so mad.
What? Like,
Well,
okay,
not
Charlie's
everyone else. Boone was trying to
sure,
help.
but like Charlie's like, I can't swim. Blah, blah, blah. I know other people know how to like help in some capacity. Anyway, it just made me mad.
Kate could have gone in there.
Yeah.
For
Yes,
sure.
for sure.
Saeed definitely could have gone in there.
Now he was tinkering.
He's like,
I can't get my
I can't be
electronics wet.
I can't be bothered. I'm doing important work. Let her die.
Yeah.
I mean, Sawyer,
What god
I
does she
wasn't.
worship?
Oh shit!
Well, that's what he was concerned about when they were burying the bodies. You know.
Poseidon, I guess. I don't know. Now she
Oh no,
does.
she's enraged. Poseidon is what happened.
Yeah.
So there's a woman out there too, and he has to kind of choose between Boone and the woman. Boone's like, "Hey, go save him, go save him." But no, Kate and Charlie take Boone. They're at the beach. They're there for that at least. And then Jack goes back out to try to get her, but nay, she drowned.
At first, I thought the woman was a mirage because it looked like they were trying to like hint that. I don't know. At this point, I was like, "Oh, is the island trying to, like,
Play with their minds.
yeah, be a little like psychologically like messing with their heads?" And so one of the ways to do that is to imagine somebody like being in, help in the ocean to kind of instigate like someone going out to helping them and then they drown. But no, it was a real person.
Like
Yeah,
a siren.
kinda, yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
guys think about? Because even I, someone who has seen the whole show, I was kind of confused for a hot second when he goes underwater and comes up with Boone. My first thought was, "Oh, I thought that was a woman out there."
Oh yeah.
Did that happen to you guys as well?
Kind of. It happened
A
so
little
fast,
bit.
and I was kind of more like, "Oh, it was Boone the whole time."
because they didn't
Because if I was drowning,
show,
I'd be very high pitched too. Help!
Yeah.
because they didn't show Boone prior to Jack going out there, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So the whole sequence is a little confusing, and maybe they could have filmed it differently to show Boone being out there, because it was a shock that it was Boone out there, which is why I made the connection that, oh, this woman is just a fake.
It might have been a woman initially, and when he went to find her, he just found Boone, who was also trying to help her.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I do think it's good that Boone was the one that tried to help. It kind of goes back to episode 1 where he was saying he was a lifeguard and he had CPR classes, and Jack was like, "You're a pretty shitty lifeguard." And
that is a good pull. Yeah.
There's this like ongoing thread that Boone was just a shitty lifeguard apparently because he can't swim, I guess. Well, but it's hard to swim out in the ocean like that, especially if there's a riptide.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's very hard, and it takes people by surprise a lot every year.
Because apparently I'm not a good swimmer, which tracks because I haven't been swimming a whole lot. But I thought I was until I went to Hawaii with my wife, who is an extremely good swimmer. I mean, she moves like a fish. And we went snorkeling, and the guide was like, "Hey, don't go beyond the point of the rock outcropping here because the water is much stronger, and I can't guarantee your safety out there, but you'll be fine if you stay in this bay." And my wife, being who she is, just immediately,
She's like, "I'm going right there."
100 yards past the rock. And I am an idiot. And I was thinking like, "Baby, stop." And she's like, "It'll be fine. There's a sea turtle over here. Let's look at it. We got to get pictures." So I go with her, and I'm like,
I mean, I get it. It's a sea turtle. You got to take photos.
I mean,
of the sea turtle.
there was manta and like a giant school of fish. It was incredible. But also, so cool. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't just let my wife. I got to protect my wife." Which was the dumbest thought I've ever had because she's an extremely accomplished swimmer. And I am not. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I go out there with her.
You're going to boon.
I booned. I completely booned.
You gone done booned.
She was like so much faster than me and so far ahead of me. And I was like, there was a point where I was like, oh my, I like looked back at the beach and how tired I was and was like, oh fuck, I'm going to die. And like, I barely made it back. And like I couldn't get out of bed that night. I went to pee and like my legs were just like twitching and shit from kicking so hard. They were so exhausted. I mean, I'd never experienced anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like it totally takes you. You're like, you're fine, and then you're not. And there's like hundreds of feet below you of empty water, and like it's like.
I mean, that's what happened to Joanna.
That's like so triggering to me. I hate the open water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it was
how
scary.
deep was the water?
I mean, it was deep. It was the ocean. It was deep. It was out there.
I can't with that.
Way farther than the recommended distance from the beach.
No. When I see photos, I do have a phobia. It's called submechanophobia, which is like the fear of. I mean, I have the fear of deep water, but I have a very serious fear of the visual of mechanical things being underwater and like deep, dark. Like
you hated the Ocean Gate scandal recently, then, huh?
What? With the Titanic.
Yeah.
The Titanic is doesn't freak me out as much because I had a weird obsession with it growing up, as I think a lot of people did. But there are some photos circulating on the internet that I cannot look at, and it genuinely like gives me the ick. Like I just cannot. My body just shrivels up, and I'm like,
and it's specifically mechanical things that deep underwater. That's like, interesting.
But it's like things that should not. I just don't know if it's because it's this big giant mechanical thing in this overly massive body of water, and just like
interesting.
What you just described doing, I would never do in my life ever. I
regretted it.
Did you get that sea turtle photo?
Yeah, I mean, we swam with the turtles for a while and stuff, but mostly her because she was fine. I mean, I can't describe. I was literally I almost died, and she was fine. Like she wasn't even like out of breath.
She was like, "Okay, honey, let's go."
Yeah, it was just like and I didn't even know how fucked up I was until that night when my legs atrophied from kicking so hard. I mean, it was just tough, like being scared. So the rest of the time we went snorkeling, I got one of those like floaties that you put around your chest, just in case kind of thing.
Life preserves.
Even then though, it's like, I still got to kick and stuff. It's tough.
Yeah.
Cause I remember when I was a kid and I was watching, like The Rock with Sean Connery.
The Rock.
And it's like, oh, he swam from Alcatraz to California or whatever. And I was thinking like,
oh my gosh, that movie just unlocked a whole thing. Wow.
Yeah. And my dad was trying to explain to me, because I'm like 8, like he's like, that's incredibly difficult, and then I'm like, whatever. Like, I swim, and he's like, and he hit me, I'm
just kidding. That's a very hard thing to do.
And as an adult in Hawaii, about to die in the ocean, I was like, Sean Connery's a beast. I only made it like 100 yards.
Well, I mean, Sean Connery 100% did that himself, so yeah.
Yes, everybody knows. He swam from Scotland.
I swam all over the place. I don't take air flights. I just swim to the United States where I shoot my movies.
Kiki,
my chits are back. I've been sitting on the beach chowing down on some Malamars.
But we cut to Boone. He's staring at the sea. He's upset.
He's sad.
It pans to Jack.
Feels really guilty.
And then we see Jack asking Kate, who was she? And it was Joanna, a scuba. She was out scuba diving, got like an infection, and was flying back early. Wasn't even supposed to be on this plane because Kate's there to rub it in usually. Hey, I know she died and it's really sad, but you know what's sadder is that she wasn't even supposed to be on this flight. And she had 6 puppies with her.
And you know what's even sadder? You didn't save her.
Yeah, I was thinking about how you tried to save her but didn't.
Oh man, that sucks for her.
Anyway.
And you, but mostly her.
If you weren't so out of breath all the time, you probably could have got her. Jack, I think maybe you don't have what it takes. I was talking to some guy in a suit.
Jack.
Yeah.
You failed.
Some guy in a suit showed up.
Yeah. You suck.
Dead Dad Island, where your dead dad comes and tells you that you suck to your new friends.
Kate is like the spokesperson for this program.
Yes.
For wanting people to go to the island.
She's the concierge to Dead Dad Island.
Yes.
She got caught in a riptide and Jack's beating himself up. And then at that point, he sees Dapper Man in the water. He doesn't know it's his dad yet. Kate doesn't see it. Uh-oh.
I think he has a suspicion it's his dad. At the very least, he's like, who's cosplaying as my dad on the beach?
Yeah, that's why he's so intrigued. A little bit, maybe. Like, oh, that looks like my dad.
I do gotta say, that shot of Dead Dad in he's in like knee-high water of the ocean. Like, that's a cool shot of a dude in a suit just standing ominously in the waves is a neat visual.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Slender Man type stuff. You know, it's creepy. It's very, very effective. We cut to Walt brushing his teeth, just like Son taught him how to. And this scene kind of frustrated me because I know he's not the best dad because he's been estranged, but it's like he's a dick to Walt. Like, I know kids are annoying and this is a stressful situation already, but you could try a little harder. Because he's like, hey, don't swallow it because it's ocean.
The ocean water.
It's ocean water. And Walt's like, why? And there's a very simple explanation as to why. But Michael's like, just don't swallow it. Yeah. And I'm like, there's salt in it. It's really salty. Done. Dad of the year.
But it dehydrates you if you drink it.
Easy.
I know I don't have any kids, but I feel like if you say there's salt in it, that opens up the discussion of why.
Salt dehydrates you, absorbs water.
Why is it in the water?
It doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Done.
I'm going to go hang out with John Locke. He knows.
You know how that convo ends? Fine. Drink it. One swallow and you're not going to do any more. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're going to get addicted. It's fucking terrible.
I can't imagine it tastes great.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and you're already brushing your teeth.
Immediately very salty. He probably didn't even need him to tell him that. It was like, oh.
Right. Ew.
Learning by experience.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, he already had it in his mouth. He was using it to like swish the
rinse off
the plant juice.
The leaf,
Yeah.
So we cut from Michael's unwillingness to educate his child to Jen noticing that Son really needs some water. Hey, your lips look dry. And Son wants to integrate more into the group. She's starting to be concerned, like, hey, I think we should drop the act. We speak English.
At least that's not confirmed, but I'm like 85% sure.
Yeah, even Saeed's with us on that.
Yeah.
And Jen says, no, I'll take care of you. He's very...
I'll tell you what to do.
He's very Jonah Hill about it. Like, all you need is me. And then so we cut
to Jonah.
I rest my case.
The J name.
Yeah.
Dead giveaway.
Exactly.
So we cut to Shannon asking Sawyer if he's got it. She's trying to buy
light sticks.
Yeah, she's trying to buy some bug spray for the sand fleas.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Sand flea? Okay, I knew that. And, on the black market, the Sawyer market, and he's charging, I think, sex.
That's what he alluded to.
I think sex is his fee.
Because she was like, how much? He's like, money doesn't mean anything out here. And I forget how he like
I'll take it for $5,000. And she's like, I didn't think money was any good here. And he's like, yeah, but you can just give me an IOU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That ass.
Oh, I think he wants the money. But I think this is a cool scene for Sawyer because he's, smarmy. He's Sawyer. He's doing his normal con man shtick. But like, I don't think he actually wanted any sort of sexual favor from her.
Like he was just fucking with her?
He was fucking with her, but also he's kind of using his reputation to kind of like make her uncomfortable, which is also kind of icky.
Yeah.
But he quickly is like, Okay, $5,000. Like he like quickly does not go down that path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sawyer's an interesting character because it's like he knows how people see him, so he's leaning into that as a survival mechanism. There's like all kinds of indications that he's not actually that way, especially at the end of this episode with Boone. It's like, sucks,
I can't wait to find out that he was like an elementary school teacher.
Oh, and he's treating this like Survivor. Right. He's a completely different personality to win $1 million.
He's
my God. I would love that.
The most hardy profession possible. He's just like so like in his real life he's so lighthearted and
he's
like
just
soft.
Bob Ross in real life,
right? Yeah.
Well, because he's always reading. He just likes to curl up with a good book, and
I just
maybe he just like you said he watches Survivor a ton. He's like, I know how this game's played.
This show came out at the height of Survivor's glory. I bet that's partially why it was so successful. Like they were they were Island Fever. Like if the Island Boys had dropped their single,
Island Boys,
or the Lonely Island.
Just trying to. Can we make that the theme song for our Lost coverage?
It's just Island Boys.
Yes, there's got to be no fee for using that. You know what I mean?
Not at all. No fee whatsoever.
I want it every time I press play. Island Boys.
And Madison.
Yeah, not very inclusive.
Not us. No, we're not the Island Boys. It's the show.
Oh, the show's
They're Island Boys. Just trying to make it. BOIs.
The Island people. More inclusive.
Island peeps.
We'll have to redo it.
Yes. We just dub over the Island people.
Yeah. Ghost. Okay. And then after this interaction, we see Claire looking for a hairbrush.
Crikey. Hairbrush.
Do you have a hairbrush?
With Kate.
Can't find a hairbrush.
She's been through 20 suitcases. Can't find one. And Kate is sorting clothes from practical and impractical. She like holds up like a strap on. Putting this in practical.
What?
Putting this in practical.
They could have made this a funny scene.
Shirt type of thing, not a strap on.
I think Steve was right. It was a negligee. But I like to imagine there was a honker in there. And
she like wiggles it.
And Kate put it in practical.
I'm putting this in practical. You know what I'm saying, girl? You get it.
They find one suitcase and it's just like a bunch of sex toys.
Yeah.
And they're just
like, locks like those are also mine.
Who brought the cock ring?
Sorry, that was mine. Did you find that next to the box of knives?
Yeah. There's supposed to be more knives in there.
Hurley's like,
should be a box of whips
that's
too.
Mine, I'm sorry.
No, he would be too.
Hurley fucks.
He'd be too cressed out.
But I love this exchange where she's like, "Are you a Gemini? I thought you were. I clocked you from across the island. Total Gemini."
I know. I love that she was correct.
The Gen Z and he was like, "Oh, astrology. Thank you."
Do we do your star chart?
Which means Kate is either born late May or early June.
Oh, confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah.
Canon event.
But I love that Claire called that. Then we cut to Hurley and Charlie telling Jack that they're low on water and they're low on boar. And Jack's mad. He doesn't want to be the leader now that someone has died. Like his nervousness about this position is coming to a head. Why are you fucking asking me about water? What am I, a water man? What am I, water boy? What am I, Adam Sandler? Bobby Boucher, is that what I look like to you?
I have written in my notes, the mofo out of breath from carrying these fuselage fiends on his back.
Fuselage fiends.
That's why he's out of breath all the time. He's carrying, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Carrying everybody. So then
this scene was a little odd. There was this weird thing that kept happening where they would cut back and forth between a close-up and a wide shot, specifically of Jack and then the three of them. And the color temperature was off on every single shot, like between close-ups, and it was
I did notice
this was really blue. This one's warmer than the others. This one's really blue. It was strange. And then the wide shot, I think whatever lens they were using didn't match the camera sensor. I don't know if they shot this on film or not, but it looked to me like what happens when you have a lens that doesn't match your camera sensor. So you can actually see the rings on the corner of the frame where the lens doesn't fit the full sensor. So you get this kind of vignetted look that is actually from the limitations of the lens isn't big enough for the camera. And I just thought that was interesting. Like, oh, that doesn't make me feel bad when I do that shit in my job day to day.
JJ does it all the time.
It makes me wonder, like, was that on purpose or was that an accident?
Always say it was intentional.
What the intent would be for that.
Yeah.
Artistic choice, because Jack feels like he's stuck in this box of being a leader.
Because the production value of the show is like obviously very, very well done, but also the elements of filming on a beach, like
it's hard, yeah.
So it's like I can imagine some of these spoof things would happen, and in post you have to just like
roll with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine all the shit that comes with filming on a beach nonstop all day, every day.
The sand and the equipment would be the
everywhere.
death of me.
Everywhere.
Death of me.
I hate sand.
Everyone's just walking around with those little like squeezy like air shooter things. What are those called?
Oh, the lens blowers?
Yeah, that. air
shooty thingies?
Air shooty thingies.
The lens blowers?
There's someone on set, that's their entire job. And they just, what's the big thing that you use for fire?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's like
it's
big,
got that. Yeah, the two handles.
It starts the fire.
Looney Tunes had them a lot.
Yeah. There's just someone walking around set with that.
Fire blower?
Yeah, fire blower.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, we all know.
Two-handed crank fire blower.
Kate found one of those in the suitcase.
Oh, makes sense.
A two-handed crank.
Practical.
We get another flashback at this point. It's Jack, young Jack, with a shiner talking to his dad. He's like swirling some bourbon. What happened? Well, they jumped Mark Silverman, and the dad is also a doctor. And then he's like, he tells this like awful story of like, do you know why I have what it takes? How I know? Because I laugh when kids die. That's how I know I have what it takes. I think that shit's funny.
I thought it was funny having the dad kind of give this very, like our first time meeting this person is he's giving this very like somber, kind of harsh story. But the first time we met Jack in his interaction with Kate he was talking about.
This is his back sack story.
Yeah. And
sack's back, all right?
I just was like, okay, the similar presentation of both of these characters is kind of similar. Just had to note that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that,
except Jack,
he's trying to tell Jack, you don't want to be a hero because if you fail, it'll destroy you and you don't have what it takes to keep going on once you fail. Jack's dad, have what it takes. Clearly, I'm coping with my difficult job well because I'm drinking like a monster.
I laughed my ass off at the Carol Burnett show. Yeah.
That show's funny as hell.
The only reason I'm even thinking about that kid right now is to tell you a lesson. Otherwise, gone.
I don't even remember his name.
You know how many, people die 3, 4, 5 times a day under my care because I'm a badass.
Yeah, especially on my...
Because I'm so good at my job.
Yeah, I'm drunk usually.
Yeah.
Bad doctors will be over a body going, not on my watch, giving them CPR. But me, I stand in the corner saying, definitely on my watch.
Yeah, always on my watch.
He's like circling the bourbon in his cups.
Yeah.
Said add one to the list.
I don't even know why I have a job. I'll be honest with you. You know why? Because I have what it takes.
Jack, who did you save? Mark Silverman?
Yeah.
I got some bad news.
I killed him.
Just
teach you a lesson.
His injuries brought him to my table, and I just let him go.
A doctor may or may not have paid those boys $100 each to beat their kid's ass. I don't know.
I hated him. He called me by my first name. It was weird. He didn't say Mr. Shepard.
And then back in the present, Boone is mad, right?
This was really funny. So, I get like why Boone's mad because he's got like the survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
he feels guilty that he failed.
I was fine. I was just catching my breath.
And Jack has this kind of like I understand why he does it, but he has this kind of like cutting retort. Where he's like, "Yeah, I didn't save her, and neither did you." Like this very pointed sort of retort. But Boone's reaction still makes me laugh. It's like the epitome of like suburban dude who's insecure. He's like, I run a business.
Yeah, I was fine. I run a business.
I know. I got my life figured out. I run a business.
Yeah. Right. Is your business deep sea diving? Because if not relevant.
That's like you and I saying that to somebody.
Yeah.
We run a business.
Yeah, if we're stuck on an island and we want to be in charge and we tell them we have a podcast, it's just as relevant.
No, we don't even tell them we have a podcast. We just say we run a business because technically it's true.
Yeah.
Because the podcast is a business.
It is a business.
But they're like, oh, you ran a business? What kind of business? Finance?
We goof on microphones.
Yeah.
Right.
Very important work.
Yeah, Boone, he's insecure at this moment for sure. And then he sees the Dapper Man again. Jack does. So Jack runs after him, and Boone's like, "Oh, you running from the fight?" And and he finds the Dapper Man.
Want to throw down?
He's sad in the woods. It looks like he's taking a piss. How would that have been if it was just somebody who was wearing a suit when the plane crashed, just taking a piss? And he's like, "Stop chasing me, dude." Weird.
What is your deal, man?
Come on, bro.
Every time you like see me walking around, you come chasing me. Luckily, I can lose you in the woods pretty easily.
I just like standing in very distant areas away from the camp.
I'm a loner.
It's kind of my thing.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I'm pretty hot in this suit. It's embarrassing. I'm sweating a lot.
But I've committed to the bit.
I cool off by standing in, the water.
It makes sense now. It all makes sense.
I'm gonna dip my toes in the water.
But no, it's his dad. It's his dad.
Island.
And at that moment, we cut back to the flashback again with his mother telling adult Jack, his father's gone. You need to go find him. You haven't spoken to him in 2 months. He doesn't have friends anymore. Why do you think that is? Maybe because he kills people all the time and he's an asshole.
Tells people that you're not a hero.
And laughs about it.
You don't have what it takes.
Maybe he walks around saying like, I've got what it takes, while he falls deeper and deeper into crippling alcoholism.
Right.
She's like, no, he was right about you. So she wants him to go after.
The wrong kid died.
I'm like, geez.
It's that energy.
The mom also sucks.
Yeah, she's like you can't stand the pressure, and he's like, no, I understand pressure. No, you don't get to say that after what you did. What did Jack do?
What did Jack do?
What did he do?
What did I do? So that's why he goes to Australia. That's where Australia is where his dad was lost last scene, right?
That's
what
what
Jack was doing. Yeah. Oh my God, it was.
It's weird he went to Australia. Clearly his dad's on Dead Island.
And we cut to, and I know this is inappropriate, but I just thought it was such a strange choice writing wise. Like Walt turns into Short Round from Temple of Doom. He just runs up to Kate and he's like, pregnant lady, fall down. Since fucking when can Walt not form sentences?
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Yeah, weird choice for that.
That was really
potatoes.
Funny. That was really funny.
What do you say?
Pregnant lady, fall down.
Oh my
Goodness.
God. I love Walt more now.
That was so good.
If Walt was Ki Kwan, it would be a way better show.
Dude, can you imagine like
Even
1980s Kiki Kwan?
No, even like present day. If he was just playing Michael's son, it would be better.
He's just running, hey guys, just like his exuberant personality.
He's like, listen, I can hear what Jin and Sun are talking about. These motherfuckers are wild.
They know what we're all saying.
They know. They speak English.
I just don't know why they had him say that line that way.
It's so weird.
Pregnant lady, fall down. But anyway, she goes to grab her. Claire's passed out, so Claire needs water, but Charlie can't find any. And Charlie's really into Claire, so he's like, "Oh, gotta get water."
Charlie's into a lot of the women on the beach.
Specifically Claire, though. They've had moments, you know.
Well, yeah, Shannon kind of did take advantage of him. Previously.
He's done with her.
Yeah.
He's like, "I was gonna catch you so many fish." Not now.
Not anymore.
Hurley, we're not catching her shit.
I'm moving on to being a daddy.
And then, and Saeed, Kate, and
we all baby daddy.
Nice. The zaddy of the beach.
Zaddy.
Saeed, Kate, and Locke discuss the lack of supplies and the fact that Jack's not there. Where's the doctor? And then Locke offers to go for water. I'll find water. I already talked to the creepy monster, the beautiful ass monster.
He's like,
tell me where to look.
I'm the only one that knows where to look.
I'm fucking cool.
It's going to get ugly if people find out that we don't have water. It's going to get ugly.
Which, really quick, I don't know why Claire, like this actress being asleep, made me realize this, but the actress that plays Claire is the actress that plays Belle in Once Upon a Time. The TV show. Yeah, I completely, forgot about that show because it's been so long. And two, I was just like, wow. Like, just making that connection that that actress played in other things.
Deep Once Upon a Time cut.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's gotten more work since Lost.
Yes, me too.
Good for her.
I tried to watch Into the Woods and was very upset.
I saw that on your letterbox. You've never seen that before?
I had not. And I wish I had not still. And yeah, so he goes to get water. And then when Jack's wandering the jungle in a haze looking for daddy, where are you? Which reminded me of like Scary Movie when she's like, where are you? To the
what's the song that goes, where are you?
Oh yeah, where are you?
No, it's
like Halloween on Christmas. And we get
did you guys notice how funny Jack runs in the scene?
No, I'm not a dick.
I know. It just made me laugh every time because he's always out of breath. And I'm like, I understand now why you're out of breath because you have terrible form.
Terrible form.
He's just going like...
He's
upset.
Arms widespread. Like, it looks like he was power walking almost.
He just realized he's on Dead Island.
He's got to find his dead dad.
He probably learned how to run from his dad.
Dead Dad Island.
This is how you do it, boy. You don't have what it takes. Look how you run.
Look at that form.
The wrong kid died. Shut up, Mom.
Butts out, chin forward. That's not how you run.
That's how you get momentum. And then there's another flashback. He's in Australia. There's an Australian talking, and I'm not going to try it because apparently I failed, but he's obviously in a hotel in Australia.
Yeah, you should never do your Aussie accent because you fail at it all the time.
I don't have what it takes.
You don't have what it takes.
He's beating his beard.
That was way more New Zealand than Australian, but you didn't nail it.
They're so close.
Hey, man.
He's
been in his bed.
He's been a bit of a dick, and we asked him very politely if he could leave. He did leave, and we kind of lost track of him. You might want to go to the police. They could possibly know, but as of right now, we don't.
Yeah, no one would rent him a car.
Hey, man.
No one would rent him a car in his condition. Meaning he was a dick.
And then Jack does he pulls a boon. He's like, he was a chief of surgery.
I wrote that down. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Right. And the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, as the person being told that, I'd be like, okay.
And he left his wallet.
He's also a drunk asshole.
He left his wallet.
I thought
what man would leave his wallet?
It was going to turn into like a scene where he had hung himself in the bathroom or something like that. Like the murdering people,
like autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, but just like
the guilt of being a bad surgeon got to him or something.
And so he finally was like, it's time. It's time. I was expecting them to like go in the bathroom and he's just like hanging or something.
He just wrote on the mirror in lipstick, I don't have what it takes.
He wrote on the mirror, red rum.
Ooh, that's murder spelled backwards.
It is. Dun, 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 The Shining.
Then we get to more Jack looking in the jungle. And then
Where are you?
he falls off a cliff. But he finds water. There's a stream down there.
Cackled so hard how he fell down.
Because he was running like that. That's why he fell.
Well, he was doing like the barrel roll, like tumble, and then just of course this dramatic stop of like he's falling off of a cliff. I cackled so hard.
And he goes from tropical woods to like a hill with no trees at all to like rocky. he rolled a long way down.
And there's like a literal cliffhanger because he's hanging from the cliff and it cuts to commercial break. And when he comes back, Locke to the rescue.
The hand going over slowly, just like peering over the edge of the cliff.
What if he just tickled him?
So fucking hysterical to me. I don't know. Like I understand it was supposed to be like a reveal of who this person was. I mean, I think everybody knew it was Locke, but it was just the fact that it was just like the hand.
Is it the dead dad? It could have been the dead dad.
Or it's the...
Well, and then he just peers over the cliff and goes, you don't have what it takes, and spits on him.
Wrong kid died.
But he was so calm about it, too. Like, first you saw the hand, and then you, like, saw his head, like, peer through, and he's like, grab on. Like, Jack is, like, freaking out, about to die.
Jack's like, cool. What does that have to do? I can walk.
And then...
He's up there tap dancing and shit. Look at this.
And
look what I can do.
John, like, tosses Jack over, saving him, but they're, like,
they start cuddling. And then Jack giggles like, this is nice.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't blame him.
Physical touch.
I liked my canon. They fuck right when the camera cuts.
I like that canon a lot. I like it a lot. I figured out how to use these legs again. Guess what?
He said, bend over.
The lock ride is finally open after repairs. Here we go.
I'll call you Dr. Love.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
You're about to be really out of breath.
You know, but I'm also about to be out of breath, Chris.
Why?
Do you know why?
Are you going to recite a giant list of all the patrons that we're thankful for?
You absolutely got that right.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I would like to thank all the patrons that help Streaming Things keep the light on, but I specifically want to thank the special super patrons who support us at the $25 tier and up.
For July.
For the month of July. That's right. We're updating it this week. This month, we are thanking Stanton Valentino, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Pills Baby, Jay Scramo, A.K. Ashley Ray, Alan Tomlinson, Wendy O'Laughlin, Jason Hawkins, Trey Barrera, Conrad, David Malfara, Kaylee Sampson, Professor Beth R.N., Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Jose Ruben Cruz Rodriguez, Alexis Adler, Thomas Alexander, Emmy, Joe Velez, Valerie, John Collins, Amanda King, Son, Loving, Mortal, Andrew Gray, Jadinklage Morgoon, Jen Robinson, Kate Kloop, Kalisha Reeves, Kiki Newton, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Jeanette Murphy, Casey McCain, and Enza.
Thank you.
So thank you all so much. If you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/streamingthings and do it there. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Sometimes in life, we're faced with tough choices. The path forward is not always clear. Like you never know. Sometimes I used to sell cars for a living and I hated that job, but I made good money. I was able to buy a house. I was gone from my family all the time. I would podcast whenever I could. I didn't get to see many movies. I worked every Thursday night. It was terrible, but I was like, I got to do this. I got stuck in the middle class grind where I was like, hey, this is what's right for my family, me to be miserable. We feel like we're stuck. We don't know what to do. So whether you're dealing with decisions around your career, sometimes in a relationship, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything else. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. And like I said, I had to have a lot of practice, and it was talking through that stuff with someone else that helped me. And that's why you could find a therapist using BetterHelp that meshes with your values and the way that you see life in that perspective, and they can talk you through in a way that you find valuable and that you understand. So you can do it entirely online, get matched with a therapist like this that you enjoy, that you find value in. And if you find that it's not working, you can switch at any time. It's extremely easy to switch it. So just think about that. Think about how close you are to finding a therapist to better your entire life. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/streamingthings today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings. So Charlie, in the next scene, he brings a tiny bit of water to Claire. He's like, hey, this is all we got. And it's been a couple of hours that she's been passed out. He tries to cheer her up, makes a little joke like, hey, who are you more scared of, the monster or that geezer with all the knives? He's got like 400 knives. I usually only carry about 300.
He's like, who brings 400 knives on a flight?
But more importantly to me, he's got living is easy with eyes closed.
I saw that.
Tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
Strawberry Fields, baby.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that last week.
Did we? Mm-hmm. We talked about Beatles last week?
We talked about Charlie's tattoo specifically last week.
Let me take you down.
Covered by Kit Laser.
I love the Beatles.
That was beautiful. I love the Beatles too.
But she talks about how no one looks her in the eye because she's pregnant. And he's like, I'm not scared of you. Not even a little bit.
I feel like a time bomb of responsibility.
I could be your baby daddy.
Steady.
Just throwing that out there. But then Hurley, we cut to Hurley. And he's like, hey, the Chinese people have water.
Completely rats on him.
And they're not Chinese.
Yeah.
This is Hurley unintentionally. Like, I love some of the things Hurley opens conversations with, because the opening
he's just like
bit with
harmlessly problematic in this moment, right?
With Jack is like, whoa, brother, you look tired. Like, just that is so funny. And then this, like, the Chinese just totally rats out Sun and Jin. Yeah. Saw them drinking water.
And Saeed's very suspicious of Sun. He confronts her and he's like, I know you speak English. And I know tell me where you get that water. Jen shows up all angry and he's like, look, I got it from him. And points at Sawyer, which is like the red herring to the audience who's already thinking that fucking Sawyer's probably got it, because he had we saw him earlier in the episode with his little Sawyer black market with the bug spray. Yep. He's kind of a piece of shit anyway, right? So perfect red herring.
He had a gun,
but Kate tries to mollify this whole argument while Saeed's arguing with Sun. But Saeed counts for her to wait, because she starts to charge right over to Sawyer, and she's like, nah, let's wait for the rat to lead us to his hole.
Cut to Sawyer's hole.
Yes. And smash cut. Boom.
And Kate tackles Sawyer immediately.
Which I want her on my flag football team. Did you see that?
For sure. It was a good tackle.
It was.
Would that be against regulations for flag football?
It would.
She straight tackles somebody.
It'd be worth it, though.
I want her on my football team.
When you take a foul for a good reason, this would be one of those moments.
Yeah, I said, Kate, just fucking get him.
Get him out of the game.
Get him.
I know it's terrible, but this is one of my favorite lines of the episode when Sawyer says, I made this birthday wish 4 years ago. And I was like, same. But then he flips her over. Saeed gets aggressive, hops in. He was waiting. I don't know why. He's like, you tackle him first. I'll hop in a second.
Right.
Saeed takes a very hands-off approach to a lot of things.
Yeah.
But no, Sawyer denies it. He's like, I didn't steal the water. I traded water to Mr. Miyagi.
For a fish.
Water has no value. It's going to rain. Call me an optimist. And then he gives her a badge, which I actually thought was hilarious.
That's very,
The sheriff's badge.
It was a little cringy.
He's like, "Are you going to be the sheriff around here?" What do you mean?
Just like, I don't know if because if that like trope is overdone, but I just was like, she's going to wear a badge on the beach. Like, it's just very
I took it
weird.
like a joke. Like, you need to mind your own business.
Like a little fuck you.
So I worked at this sales job that I hated, but there was a bunch of, it's a very toxic environment by design. But one of my bosses, who's actually hilarious, he's just a dick. Whenever somebody he kept these giant stack of police badge stickers. And whenever somebody would tell on someone else, instead of punishing the person for whatever, no matter how bad it was, like so-and-so literally, because I sold cars, so-and-so literally stole a car, or he left 3 hours ago, he's not off till 9, it's 2 o'clock, and he left at 10 a.m., whatever it is. My boss would give them one of those badge stickers and go, "All right, officer." And like they hated tattletales, you know what I mean? So that's how I took this, as he threw her the badge, like, "All right, nerd, way to track me down."
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
Not that she was literally going to be the sheriff of the island, but I'd be down for it either way.
I just was picturing, oh great, now we're going to see Kate walking around with a fucking little badge on her hip.
No, I don't think that happens.
Okay.
Woman in uniform.
But
I took it too literally, I guess.
Madison, you and I were talking offline about the chemistry that Kate and Jack has, but also you brought up something else.
Yeah, I was like, to me, I'm like, okay, I feel like there's a love triangle developing, maybe.
Sawyer and Kate.
Yeah, with Jack. And I compared it to the trio of Harry Potter, where it's like you have Jack, who is the Harry Potter equivalent, Kate is Hermione, and then Sawyer is Ron.
Sure.
I could be completely wrong, and Jack and Sawyer might swap spots, but
He's going to sacrifice himself.
no, you can't. There must be
Ron,
another way.
Freckles, he's going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
When I make my move.
You're free to check the king.
No, Ron, no.
No.
But it just, I'm starting to, and maybe I'm interpreting this completely wrong, but I just am like, they're obviously
I think you're 100% correct.
they're trying to hint at something between Sawyer and Kate, but there's also this undeniable like
That was his
tension
birthday wish
between
4 years ago.
Jack and Kate as well. So it's just like, what's gonna happen there?
He's giving bad boy energy.
He is.
You know?
And
Like
Jack's
I
giving off
said,
main
like I
character
said,
energy.
Sawyer is a third grade teacher.
He's like, "Hey, you know what? I saw you with that strap on earlier. Maybe you want to get in my rat's hole."
What are your thoughts on pegging?
He said, I like being a bottom. I like being the sub.
I might be dumb, but does the 4 years ago thing mean anything? Like this is or is it just like a funny,
It's
like
just-
random
It's just a
thing?
four-
Because the more, in a joke like that, from experience, the more detail, the funnier it is.
Okay.
You know? So if you say specifically
The more niche.
4 years ago,
The
it's
better.
funnier than just, "That was my birthday wish last year." You
That's
know?
true. Yeah.
That's my take on that.
Because my first thought was like, you didn't know her 4 years ago.
Oh my God, is this a timey-wimey thing?
Sawyer's like the being, the Lord of Time on the island. Like,
Or-
I've been here this whole time.
I know we know Kate's backstory, but maybe they do know each other. They're actually husband and wife, and they're using this experience to re-fall in love with each other.
Aw.
They took a vacay to Dead Dad Island to rekindle their flame.
Yeah.
Island.
They
running
sabotaged.
from the law together.
They sabotaged the fuselage so that they could have this entire experience.
You know what? That's a toit theory.
Tweet.
I like it. We cut to Locke getting drips of water off of leaves, and he's either been doing that for a long time or he started with a fair amount of water and he's just topping it off because there's like half a bottle full.
Topping it off.
Oh, a couple drops here. And he wants Jack to be the leader. He's like, "You know what?" And Jack's like, "No, I'm crazy. I don't have what it takes." And he's like, "No, crazy people don't think they're going crazy. Crazy people think they're getting saner. Somebody's got to be the leader. Everybody wants you to be the leader." You know, this is where we get the mention of the titular white rabbit.
This exchange starts off very strange. The direction for Jack is bonkers to me because they sit down and Jack goes, "So how are they doing?"
Right?
Like, you just left them.
Yes, I
He
have
acts
that in my
like
notes.
In this moment, he acts like he hasn't seen anyone on the beach for like a week. And he's like, "We broke up last week. They doing okay? They look good? Are they happy? I miss them."
I was like, you've been gone for maybe a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like-
Most
That's
people
what I think-
probably don't even realize you're gone.
Right.
Now they've all been panicking about where Jack's been, though. They really have.
They have, but
before Locke even left, he was like, "Where's the doctor? This is getting bad." I mean, the episode's writing is edited differently, but it's framed writing wise like he's been gone all day. You know, he's missing a number of his normal appearances and responsibilities.
But it's weird for him to be like, "How are they?" Right?
I think it's part of his character that he doesn't want to be the leader, but he can't not be because he's already concerned about his 45 children. You know,
or it's like he knows that they're incompetent of taking care of themselves, so he's like. He recognizes that when he's gone, they need help.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, how are they doing? How are they doing with me not being there?
He says that he's chasing somebody in the woods, and Locke's like, "What is your white rabbit?" Alice in Wonderland. I read books.
Yeah, I saw The Matrix.
Yeah. Love that movie. It's so cool. Remember that bullet time shit?
Typically, I'm a meat and potatoes guy, and Jack's like, "What?" And Locke's like, "Potatoes."
Boil the mash and stick him in a stew.
It's a really weird reference out of nowhere. And
I just have written John Locke as being hella philosophical right now, and I'm just letting him talk, even though I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, he said this place is different. I don't believe in magic and shit normally. It's special, though, right? What if everything that happened here happened for a reason?
I've looked into the eye of this island, and what I saw, it was beautiful.
It was Sawyer's rat hole.
It's Sawyer's rat hole.
It's the eye of the island.
He's got everything in there. He's got sand flea repellent. He's got pine nuts. He's got anything. He's got a strap on in there randomly. How do you get that?
And a cock ring.
Honestly, it's mine. I don't know how it got in there, but I don't want to say it's mine. I'm just going to try to trade it back to him.
Let's keep this between us bros.
I brought 400 knives.
You don't know what else I'm capable of.
And a 10-incher.
Helen was supposed to come with me. That's why I have all this stuff.
Yeah, I need that back. Anywho,
a leader can't lead till he knows where he's going.
I like that line, actually.
That was good.
He says, "Hey, you keep looking for your dad, even though he's dead, and it's weird. I'm not going to tell anybody, right?" And then we cut to Jack at a campfire. I don't know how he started. A lot of them are amazing at building fires, because when we cut back to the beach, there's like 5 fires, one huge bonfire going. That must not be an issue.
They've gotten a lot of practice with it.
Yeah. He's just rubbing them sticks. Back in the flashback, Jack's at the morgue. The police found a guy in an alley. He's had a myocardial infarction, and that's terrible. Like, you never trust an infarction. That's what I was taught.
He said infarction, and I'm not a medical person, but when I was looking down at my notes writing, and I heard that word, I'm like, did he say fart?
Yeah. That's what I said. Never trust an infarction.
I rewound it. Did he mean infraction? No, he did not. Okay. Typing away. Because
sometimes, especially at Locke's age, especially, but starting at Jack's, an infarction can mean you shit your pants, quickly.
What is an
Which
infarction?
Which turns into a heart attack, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, the myocardial kind can.
An infarction is an obstruction of the blood supply to an organ or region of tissue, typically by a thrombus or an embolus, causing local death of the tissue.
Yes. And if that's a myocardial infarction, that's a heart thing. So it's a heart embolus.
A sizable heart attack.
Yeah.
I love how the doctor, again, this might be going back to the point you made last week, Madison, about the writers being way too smart and be like, I know what fuselage is.
Yeah.
They write myocardial infarction, a sizable heart attack for you dummies at home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just say that.
Which, honestly, I am a dummy at home. Please tell me that.
It's a medical professional talking, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a criticism of the show. It's just funny.
I did appreciate the explanation of, he followed up with a heart attack. But they left me for a loop with the fuselage last week.
It's a dead and he's not on the island, but he will eventually be on dead island.
That was good.
What if the morgue employee was just Walt and he was like, "Old man, fall down."
Old man, no breathe.
And Jack was like, "Oh no."
That sounds like a serious issue.
He's like, "Dr. Shepard, old man, fall down."
It is his dad, though.
It is his dad.
He unzips the dead bag, and he's in there. And then in the present time, there's someone behind him in the trees. So he takes a fucking torch out of the fire to run off. I mean, that thing stays flaming lit.
Yeah.
It is amazing. That's the best piece of wood of all time.
Yeah, it is.
No, but I loved the reveal because you hear like the ice hit glass, like a little drink.
Whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
Good sound design.
It was a good indication for
I didn't even catch that.
I liked that a lot.
And he finds water and a bunch of creepy ass dolls.
That was so bizarre.
That was such a funny reveal because he's like, "There's my dad. My dad's over here. Wait a minute. oh, my dad left me to water. How poetic. And then it pans down. Oh, that's unsettling as fuck.
There were so many things going through my head when I saw this scene. I was just like, oh, of course Jack found a waterfall. Great. And then you see the baby doll, and then you see just more wreckage. And I just am like,
yeah, piece of plane.
Was there another plane crash here? Was there there's little dolls everywhere? I'm like, what's happening here?
I guess
I think that's just piece of the same plane
of like checked baggage.
Well, I just was just like children of the corn, children of the gargantuan quality. That is
of a certain gargantuan quality.
It's just giant children
and then
terrorizing the island.
We get the coffin. He sees his dad's coffin that's empty, so he gets angry, and it's apparently made of just like one thin layer of plywood because the Australians don't put a lot of effort into their coffin. And it's well known. And
well, there's that flashback where he sees the coffin, and it flashes back to him trying to get
he's begging
dad's
Chrissy.
Coffin through customs, and she's like, no,
it's cone.
And he kind of freaks out on her, understandably so. That's a very...
I need this to be done. I need this to be over with, Chrissy.
And apparently, one of two things either happened. Either Chrissy was like, yeah, man, I get it. Rousing speech. I'm going to do you a solid. Or B, she's like, yeah, man, I'm going to do you a solid. And as soon as he walked away, she was like, ditch the body. That body was never on that plane.
Because, there's...
Due to regulations, we can't have that body. He won't understand the box is still there.
Perfect. It's the perfect
Paid a lot
crime.
of money for
She's
that
like,
box.
let me gaslight him and say, the casket's on the plane.
It's true.
Yeah, if that's
true.
If that scene went on further, she'd be like, I'll take care of it. I understand, sir. Thank you so much. And Jack walks away. She waits a beat. Fucking prick. And she's like typing her notes like, dump that body into the river.
Put him on the plane that always crashes.
oh, sir, I just upgraded your flight to a new plane. It always crashes.
It's going towards Dead Dad Island.
It's a French plane. Welcome,
Dead Island. It is where the French like to hang out.
And then on the beach, they have hellfires. Boone's bringing Claire water, and Charlie's fitting to beat him up because he's like, "Where'd you get that fucking water, dude?"
It's like, dead ass, bro. Where'd you get the water?
Dude.
Get him. Let's hang this guy. Like, that's the energy.
There's a mob forms, but then Jack returns, the leader. Look, guys, everybody chill. It's been 6 days. I got something that'll calm you down. Someone's probably never coming. Okay? We got to stop being little bitches, start figuring things out. We got to work together. We got to unionize.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. This is a socialist speech that he's given.
Finally, someone's saying it.
Bernie's like, I was in full support this whole time.
I like what this guy's talking about.
I don't even know why I was on this plane. I walked here.
He's sitting in a foldable chair, legs crossed, mittens out, scarf on.
You guys,
it's pretty warm.
You got to get together. Seize the means for production. Just like Mark said.
And they're like, all men fall down. All right.
And he says, look, if we can't live together, we're going to die alone. He's right. It's Bernie, relax. We're talking about the show here.
It's about the healthcare. We don't have good enough healthcare. We're going to die alone for sure. That's definitely what's going to happen.
One doctor, 45 patients.
That doesn't sound like a great system, am I right? This is what the 1% do to us. There's one giant smoke monster. They control the means of everything that's going on this island.
It's true. Hurley and Charlie are divvying out water. The final sequence of this episode is just everybody kind of bringing water to everybody else. Son thanks Jen for the water. Michael is trying to give water to a sleeping Walt. So he just drinks it because he's sleeping. It's probably ocean water. He's trying to teach him a lesson. Sawyer's
he's gonna put his hand in the water while he's sleeping. Teach him another lesson.
Sawyer's poking fun at Boone, right? You just moved up above me on the list of everybody fucking hates. Sucks, don't it?
Sucks, don't it?
And then my favorite part of the long shot of Kate's ass as she walks over to Jack.
See,
did you notice that?
Yeah,
Did I notice that?
Obviously.
Because we're friends and no one else is listening. Yes. I bit my lip.
But did you see though? They needed a first AC for that shot because there was a moment where it was out of focus and then it immediately went back into focus as she was walking.
Yep.
I just was like, wow, you are really pushing this.
I appreciate it.
I appreciated some ass.
It keeps me roped in, you know? I'm equal opportunity.
No, I was like,
strip
all right,
Boone all the way down.
please.
We should show him.
Suck me, daddy. Remember we said that in the first episode?
No,
Because he was in the vampire show.
okay.
And he's a very good looking man. I'm all about pro.
He is. You can
He needs to explore.
show him digging around Sawyer's rat hole,
Yes.
Please.
but also
But
Kate.
Lost in that ass. That's what they can call it.
And I love you try to be above it.
I do.
You pretend to be above it, but you noticed,
I did notice.
and you weren't disgusted. You're just what we call
No.
perping back in my day. Perping. Yeah, look it up.
How metro of
Perpin.
me.
But it was definitely male gazy.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
oh, here's the point of the scene. Like it was it wasn't a diegetic edit, but it was like a butt edit where you use the
like
sex
ass,
appeal.
ass.
Yeah.
Like a Michael Bay kind of shot. He always does like cheeks up
Yeah.
to introduce
Yeah,
characters.
push in, tilt up on the
I'd
cheeks.
like to.
Yeah. Sawyer's Hole.
Anyway, that's the end. She
Well, no.
she brings water to
yes,
Jack.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had to take care of a few things. She's like, that's all I'm going to get, isn't it? And he's like, my dad died.
Or also, I'm like, he didn't expect you, Kate, to share the shit that you did. Why are you expecting him to share?
Yeah, you were real close to the chest about the whole,
like where the
Hope and the Marshall dies thing. Yeah.
But Kate, like, still, they don't know what Kate did.
Real
criminally.
hypocritical. Real hypocritical.
A little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about this last little bit here? Anything we missed, Steve?
I thought it was fine. Like, oh, not fine. It was good. I like the idea of her kind of playfully like, that's all I'm gonna get. Huh? I don't think she really expected him, but she was kind of giving him a little. She was razzing him a bit. Like they're becoming good friends, and then just the very vulnerableness of him saying like, my dad died, and like this whole time Jack has been this character that's been running around helping everybody, but no one's really like asked him how he was doing ever. It's always like, Jack, that lady's sad, go talk to her. Jack, that lady's drowning, go save her. Jack, Boone's being a little shit and looking for pens.
Yeah, I forgot about Rose. That one pissed me off.
This was the first time that someone's ever been like, hey, there was something going on, what happened? And him just kind of vulnerably opening up to probably the only person he would do that to on the island, Kate. And he just says, hey, my dad died. Also, I've been chasing him all day because he's walking around. It's Dead Dad Island. I don't know if you knew that. It was on the brochure when we picked the flight. His body's also missing. The body. We don't know where it's at. The body. I think Chrissy, the airline person, stole my dad's body. It might be, or he's walking around. One of those two things happened. I don't know. I'm sorry.
The only thing that would have made this scene better, this final sequence needed two things. Saeed with a giant pile of hairbrushes giggling. And then
those suckers.
And then Jack
He's
combing his
them.
hair.
Yeah.
He's burying the brushes in the
But
sand.
he's just got like perfectly combed hair.
Yeah.
Which I guess you're supposed to assume that Sawyer took them maybe so he can like raffle them off. I don't know. What are we supposed to believe about the hairbrushes?
I don't know where the hairbrush thread went.
The hairbrush literally is just no one packed hairbrushes.
Everyone's bald.
That's such a weird thing to point out. And Claire's right that there should be quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's bald on this beach, I guess.
Locke has 300 of them. I brought them. You don't even have hair. And then the last thing that would have made it better is if Jack had one of those dolls.
He was
Just
cradling it.
rocking with it like lonely boy.
I do want to know.
He like hands a doll to Claire. Like, I think you might need one of these for the baby. I don't know. I don't doctor. My dad killed kids.
Yeah.
Probably would have killed yours, but
Thank God he's. Well, actually, shit. He's roaming the woods. Stay here.
He's zombieing it up right now.
He's out
somewhere.
there.
Yeah. So that's the end. It's time for Beach Please, right?
Beach,
please.
Enlighten us, Steve.
Guys, this is the section of the episode where I give you some fun facts about the Lost episode that we just watched and covered. Last week, I discovered the director's commentaries for Lost Season 1, and I'm here to say I didn't get to watch it this week.
It has been a busy week.
This has been a really rough week for me in terms of like productivity and like getting things done. There's been a lot of curveballs thrown my way this week, so I didn't get to do it this week. But you know, in full transparency, I just this week I just went on IMDb and looked up trivia for this episode, which means, long way to say, there's not a lot of stuff I have for you this week, but a couple interesting things. Madison was actually in the room with me
when you found out one of them.
When I found the very first thing that comes up under IMDb trivia about this episode. I hope
it's about Sawyer's Rat Hole.
And it's awful.
Oh no.
It's horrifying. So the very first bit of trivia I have for you guys on this episode is kind of a bummer. So get ready.
Oh no.
Here we go. Most of the indoor scenes were filmed inside an abandoned Xerox building. 5 years previously, the building was the site of the worst mass shooting in Hawaiian history. Weird bit of trivia to point out. Very strange, but I can't even think like what are the indoor scenes are they talking about? Is it the more were they building sets in this abandoned?
It has to be the flashbacks.
Yeah, the flashbacks for sure. But is it like were they building sets inside this abandoned building?
Probably the hotel.
So they had the hotel, the morgue.
Maybe even Jack's house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But what a weird thing to like. You could have just said it was filmed inside an abandoned Xerox building. Period.
I mean, no, that's not the trivia tidbit. There's more. I get it.
It is such a Madison was in the room with me and I read them like, Jesus Christ.
That's pretty harsh, actually.
Yeah.
It's probably really cheap to rent it, though.
Yeah, it's haunted for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all I have for Beach Please.
Interesting.
Thank you for Beach Please.
But now it's time for the Mile High Club moments, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode. And I got to be honest with you guys, I'm just kind of pulling stuff out of my ass. I did like this episode. It is by a mile my least favorite in the sense like nothing stands out about it to me. Mm-hmm. So I've got 3 moments, but they're just like, sure kind of things.
Mine are more moments that made me laugh.
Okay. What's your number 3, Madison?
My number 3 is Claire ranting about astrology with Kate, because I just think it's a very fun, womanly banter to have, and I haven't seen these two characters interact very often, and so it was just nice to kind of have these two connect.
It was our Bechdel test.
Exactly. And
passed, baby.
Passed.
Now we can move on
Confirmed.
from this.
The writers were like, let's have the women talk about something not male related.
How about hairbrushes?
And hairbrushes.
And negligees.
And astrology. Wow.
That's what they came up with.
Yeah.
What do bitches be talking about?
Hairbrushes.
Let's have them find a giant strap on.
But it was funny. I mean, astrology is something I feel like I don't lean into it a lot, but it's just it's a conversation I have with my friends at least once or twice a month.
I would have liked to have heard more about Kate's star chart personally.
Same.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, same.
I think she's a Leo rising.
I feel like every show we cover, specifically with Madison, there's this deep talk about what each character's astrological sign is.
Well, yeah, we did that with Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, so get in the comments, guys. Let us know.
Yeah, let me know what you think your thoughts are with everyone else's characters' astrology sign.
Which sign they are. Mm-hmm. Hurley? What do you think Hurley is? Do you think he's a Taurus? No.
He does seem like a very grounded individual. I don't know. I could see him as a Taurus.
What do you think Jack is?
Why are you moving your mic like that?
With your mic?
I took caffeine.
Jack. I think Jack is a Leo or a Virgo. Boone, I don't know. I'm kind of pulling stuff out of my ass.
He's a gorgeous man.
He is a gorgeous man.
What'd you say, Steve? I forget.
Suck me, daddy.
I think suck me, daddy.
Yeah. I think suck me, daddy.
Suck me, daddy.
I like Madison's version.
I like Dirty Vinny's version of it. Yeah.
Hey, suck me, daddy. I think Boone is an Aries. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But yeah, let us know what you guys think.
Get in the comments.
Steve, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is just the brief little interaction with Charlie and Claire. I love how Charlie sort of already he's trying to make her at least feel better, if not trying to take care of her a little bit. Mm-hmm. And just this guy just being infatuated with this woman is you can see that he likes her. And it's cute. And the fact that he looks at her not as this ticking time bomb of responsibility. He sees her as the person she is. And I don't know, that's really sweet. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the opening, the scene of Boone being rescued while drowning and Joanne in the back. I thought it was very effective, not only because I've experienced discomfort at sea. But I thought it was accomplished film, you know, like it was just well done. The tension was there because you could see Jack looking between them and trying to figure out. The longer he remains indecisive, the more dire the situation gets. And it was a good opening. The tension was ramped up. I felt it. Pretty effective. Madison, you're number 2.
My number 2 again is another moment that I just found to be very funny, which is Jack falling forever and then and then going on, like being on the cliff, and then you just see the hand. Hello. It's like, hey, are you struggling there? Let me get you. Yeah, it was just so funny. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
Steve, you're number 2.
My number 2 is, I think, Madison's number 3, and that is the Kate, Claire, Gemini conversation. This was a very strong episode for endearing me personally to Claire. Just I don't believe in astrology. I'm not that type of person, but I always love the conversation. Oh, that's a total Virgo. Oh, she's a total Pisces. Like, there's something about that being very fun.
Yeah.
And the way that she kind of bonds with Kate, like, are you a Gemini? I thought so. You got these great qualities. I could do your star chart. And then the look Kate gives her, she's like, or not.
And then she's like, that's such a Gemini thing.
Yeah. The way the scene ends, she's like, Geminis. And it gets Kate to laugh.
Very playful.
Yeah. It's adorable. I love it. Chris, what about you?
I want to give it to Sawyer's Rat Hole.
Yeah, you do.
Kate, I do. Just Kate tackling him. You know, that whole exchange I found very entertaining. And Sawyer, his character intrigues me more and more each week. And the whole comment about, this is what I wished for my birthday 4 years ago. Very funny scene. Very well done. I liked it. You're number 1, Madison, of episode 5.
My number one is a little bit more serious of a scene, and it's where Jack is trying to convince the gate agent to get his dad's casket on the plane.
Chrissy, wake up.
The fuselage.
Yes. We cannot fit him on the fuselage.
And then it's kind of a compilation of that, and then him discovering the water and beating the shit out of the casket. Yeah, that was my number 1 scene.
Steve?
My number 1 scene is just Jack and John Locke just being bros. Like, they're just that little kind of sit down that Locke has with him. Because Jack is this, you know, he's a very analytical person, and he thinks he's going crazy, and he's asking John Locke, who at this point is probably the most mystical, or he's the closest we have on this island to someone who believes in a higher power, right? And so just this conversation between someone who's very scientific and a higher power type person, a man of science and a man of faith, like kind of conversing with each other. And Jack is the one looking for guidance from Locke, is very cool. And I love what Locke does. He literally is like, okay, so if I was in your position and I was chasing something in the woods, what would you tell me that was? And, you know, Jack says like, oh, you're hallucinating. You haven't had sleep. You haven't had water. And he's like, okay, yeah. That's what you're doing. That's what's going on. But that doesn't mean you can't explore that and kind of figure out what the deeper meaning is behind that. Because you're hallucinating this for a reason. What is that reason? And I don't know. I just like these two characters. I like how they play off each other. And just the idea of Locke going like, all right, well, I'm going to go find some more leaves to get water off of. I've got more bottles to fill. And then Locke is still not back by the time night rolls around. So I assume he's still out there like, haven't filled up one of these goddamn bottles yet. There's not enough leaf water up here. This is bullshit. But yeah, the conversation with him and Jack, my favorite.
That's my real favorite moment of the episode. Because for all the reasons that you said, I think it's Locke's such an interesting character, but because he thinks that the island's a magical place, that he's so grateful because he can walk again, that he just really gives no fucks about anything else in an alarming way. He's just like, oh, maybe we can fly. We all float down here, guys. Come on, we all float down here. Like if Pennywise jumped out, I feel like Locke is so grateful he can walk. He'd be like, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Bones.
Bones, my dude. You want some boar?
Saeed's like, I have some hairbrushes. Do you need to brush that out?
Yeah, you definitely do, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
So that's my favorite. But what I'm saying is when Jack finds the water and beats up his dad's brittle coffin, because that was such a batshit sequence of just like all the dolls and then the coffin exploding in splinters from one hit. And I loved it so much. It's so good. That's what I'm giving it to. I agree with Madison.
That's a good pull. Good pull.
Come
Now it's
on,
time
everybody.
For Passenger Princess. Everybody. Let's nominate our favorite performance of the episode. I got to be honest. This is even more than the Mile High Club moments. Just sure. Like no one stood out. So I'm going to jump line.
You're jumping line?
I'm going to give it to Matthew Fox because this was Jack's episode.
Okay.
And this is the least offensive Matthew Fox's acting has been since we started this show. And for that, I give him, and the word I probably will never give him again.
Okay.
The streamy.
At least until Jack's next episode.
Maybe Jack starts killing it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Your opinion is he does?
Oh, I think Matthew Fox is good for the most part.
You think
yeah.
he kills it? You think?
I think
that's the vibe.
I'm just laughing at the constant touching of the mic, moving it with your body is so.
You're spending half the time not in your camera frame. You're just like twirling around.
Antsy that I'm like, I got to keep the audio with me.
This spiraling. He's like, where are you?
Well, yeah. All right, Madison.
My Passenger Princess performance is also going to Matthew Fox for this similar reason.
Oh.
I did enjoy the scene with the gate agent. I thought that was a very emotional scene. That, Matthew Fox had to kind of pull to get emotional with his dad and stuff like that. So solely based off that performance and also the fact that this was his quote unquote episode, that's why he was given the Passenger Princess.
Steve, everybody?
We all everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm also giving it to Matthew Fox. This was a little bit of a journey because I kind of agree with you, Chris. I when I sat down, I was like, who am I going to give this to? Shit.
I almost gave it to Terry O'Quinn again.
I almost gave it to Emily DeRaven.
Same.
As Claire.
Oh, that would have been a good cut.
Because I thought she was very charming in this. And like, she was just so charming in this episode. This episode did a lot, like I said before, it did a lot for endearing me to her specifically, even though she was not the main character at all. Mm-hmm. But then I was talking to Madison before we went on air and I'm like, you know what? Matthew Fox does kind of kill it in that, the airplane scene with Chrissy. And, some of the stuff, especially in the beginning of the episode when he's talking with like Hurley and Charlie and everyone's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He's like, I don't want this. I don't want to be the leader. Leave me alone. Like I'm dealing with my dead daddy issues stuff.
Right.
And I think he does do a pretty good job. And I mean, I think Matthew Fox still relies way too much on heavy breathing acting. Like literally, I think he did it with his mom when he visited his mom. He's like, you guys told me I didn't know I couldn't handle it. Like he does that a lot to the point where there could be a drinking game. Like, is Jack out of breath? Take a shot in this scene, right? But overall, like I said, he does kill it in that scene with Chrissy. And so for that, I'm going to give it to him this week. And thus brings us a We All Everybody.
Excellent. Love when that happens. Love. Yes, it's good when we're all together. And now it's time for Lost and Found, the final segment of the episode where we talk about the mysteries that have unfolded, which ones have been solved, which ones are still ongoing, that kind of shit. Steve, why don't you list out what we got so far?
That kind of shit. I did want to briefly kind of go back to last week. I don't know if you saw, Chris, they were kind of making fun of us in the Discord for something we did last week. Joey in Discord responds, I love that Lost and Found didn't include why the hell Locke can walk all of a sudden. And then Casey responded, good point. They were just like, yeah, scratch John Locke mystery off the list. And I think that's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're so accepting
I don't know. I just
of
was
that.
just like the miracle of the island.
Duh.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Obvi.
It hit a nerve. I don't know. I don't know how paralyzing works.
So I'm adding.
I don't know how that works.
So I'm adding why can John Locke walk again?
Okay.
Sure.
This. Are there any mysteries that you thought came up, new mysteries in this episode?
Well, I just want to say in regards to everybody get up, come on, get down with the signal. In regards to John Locke walking, there are strange things that can occur. I read neuroscientist Oliver Sacks' book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. Have you ever read this, Steve?
No.
Highly recommend it. But there's a lot of good stories in there. Like the brain's a wondrous thing, and stranger things have happened than a paraplegic walking all of a sudden after an accident, like a plane crash. Ladies and gentlemen of the listenership, just so take that.
Take it.
Yeah.
Anything else? What was your question?
Any other mystery, like new mysteries that you had?
Yes.
Caffeine boy?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What did Jack do?
What did Jack do to his dad?
Yeah, like baby Jack or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
like why?
Wrong kid died. And also, where are the hairbrushes?
Where are the hairbrushes?
Joanna took him out with her to swim.
I'm just
So they're at the bottom.
I was trying to clean all the hairbrushes and I got caught in a riptide.
Help!
I'm being weighed down by all the hairbrushes I tied to myself.
No, all the hair, like in the bathtub.
Ew.
Oh, God.
That's why she can't kick her feet to stay up. Too much hair.
Oh, no.
I feel like I'm in a bathtub.
My last I found is, where is Jack's father's body? The body.
I think he's clearly walking around. Mystery solved. We just saw him.
Obviously.
Chrissy
haunted.
stole the body. I thought we talked about this.
Or that.
That too. I can't see that though. Like I don't see plain people taking a body out of a casket.
Another mystery that was introduced in this episode that was not answered was, why can Walt not drink ocean water?
It's true. Michael's being very cagey about that subject.
We were not told why.
I know.
Just don't. I think that's it though. The main thing is, what did Jack do?
Yeah. I think there's only one mystery we can scratch off the old list. I'm not gonna bother through reading all of them. But the one mystery I think we can scratch off is, who is the man in the suit?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Daddy.
did. That is Jack's dad, Daddy Jack.
It's still a mystery though, right? Like, is it a hallucination? Is it a real person? Because the body's also missing. So the show wants you to kind of be on the fence about that.
Do you want me to add to where is Jack's father's body to, like, is he actually there?
I mean, I think there's some sense of like no one else is seeing the bodies, or excuse me, no one else is seeing
Dapper
Jack.
Man.
Yeah, so I think
Sure, but we can just leave it as, where's the dad's body? But it was like a mental bullet point of like, hey.
what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the deal here?
Because
where are they?
It's not just a force led Jack to the water source, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence that he heard the noise, heard the tinkling of the bourbon, and then discovered this treasure trove of dolls and hydration. Mm-hmm. No.
Treasure trove of dolls and hydration.
It's good.
That's actually a good band name. Dolls and Hydration.
Well, you can't have it.
Can't have it?
Nope. TM.
Kit Laser,
TM.
Oh, shit. I actually hit the scanner one, too.
I like it. All right, that brings us to the end. I apologize. I mean, I feel like this was a 3-hour episode, mostly of me just like wiggling in my chair. But this is Thursday that you're listening to this, so you've made it through some fire-ass episodes already. Yeah. Which have not been recorded and might also suck. I'm not sure. I'm always grateful to have Vinny here and Stu, Madison and Steve. Hey. If for some reason you want bonus content, which a lot of people do, you can go to patreon.com/streamingthings. We got after-hours episodes, monthly bonus episodes. We still got to drop the July poll, which is America-based.
Yeah, that'll probably actually be live by the time you listen to this.
Yeah, so you get a couple of different episodes, extra episodes per month at least on the Patreon. You can also follow all of us on social media. Links are in the bio, all that stuff. We love you all. Thanks for being here. That's all the time we have for right now. My name is Kit Laser.
My name is Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things. Happy streaming. I thought you were going Optimus with
Bumblebee.
That. It's my day.
Some would say it's my birthday, and we celebrate it by giving the human steals.
Like
go out and support the economy. Roll out.
Jeffrey Bezos, you did it!
Congratulations.